Encred, a young man with dreams of becoming a knight, lives a life marked by failure and disappointment. Despite his best efforts, he is never able to match the skill and strength required to fulfill his dream. Everything changes when, during a violent street skirmish, Encred is mortally wounded and dies. However, instead of passing into the afterlife, he wakes up at the start of the same day, alive and unharmed. This inexplicable phenomenon grants Encred an unlimited number of chances to train, grow stronger, and hone his combat skills. With each death and subsequent resurrection, he learns from his mistakes, pushing himself further and faster toward his goal. Desperate to regress, our protagonist gathers for materials that are considered impossible to obtain. His motivation? Revenge against H.W.A. Mugi, the most powerful person of his era. Having passed the rigorous test and earned the chance to regress, he now faces a critical question. Will he succeed in his goal and exact his revenge? YQ Seal was considered useless in the game, struggling with extreme difficulty and the worst performance. He couldn't use magic in a fantasy world where everyone else could. Our protagonist, who transmigrated into the game, now possessed Spake's body. With only a blink skill, can he survive in this fantasy world? The Ragnar family is said to have inherited the blood of a dragon, producing offspring with overwhelming talent, except for our protagonist. He died at the hands of his teacher, who was a traitor. But just as he was meeting his end, a message appeared, and he was regressed back in time. Now, with the help of the system, will he be able to change his fate? Our protagonist, an alliance leader known as the Martial God, suddenly dies and wakes up in a different body. He now inhabits the body of Reborn, the disgrace of his family. With his memories as the Martial God intact, will he rise to glory once more and uncover the truth behind his death? Our protagonist, who devoted his life to the Empire and became its greatest assassin, was betrayed by his own brother and killed. However, to his surprise, he was regressed back to his younger self. Now, armed with the knowledge and experience of being the Empire's best assassin, will he be able to change his fate? Our protagonist was betrayed by his team and left to die from poison. Despite his dying body, he managed to bring one of his betrayers with him. Just before his death, he awakened the ultimate swordsmanship. However, the system granted him a second chance, regressing him to the moment he first awakened as a player. This time, will he be able to use the skills he gained in his previous life? Possessing an extraordinary ability that allows him to understand languages and concepts, our protagonist is unexpectedly transported to a different world after reading an unknown message. His very first task in this new world, to slay a goblin. Will his remarkable ability help him succeed in completing this daunting challenge? The world turned upside down when monsters invaded Earth and began killing people. While our protagonist was walking, he stumbled upon a goblin. Just as he was about to report it, the goblin begged him to set her free. After releasing her, he received an item. With the help of this item as his guide, will he be able to survive in this dangerous world? Our protagonist, having trespassed into the storehouse of a god and used the regressing item, unexpectedly becomes the owner of the vault. Just like that, he is sent back in time, now in possession of the vault's power and treasures. With these newfound abilities and items, will he be able to prevent the extinction of humanity?